One of the very important questions that you need to prepare for is, tell me something about your family. Companies ask this question because after all what we are is also to do with the family background we come from. If you are the only child of your family, ladies and gentlemen, that probably will not work in your favor, because our only child probably is a child who is loved too much. So there could be a scenario where your parents might not like you to shift. Maybe you are the eldest daughter in the family, and maybe you do have a younger sister who is only a year or two younger than you. If that is the case, my mind will say that there will be a pressure on you to get married. So as an interviewer, I get to know a lot of things about you. I get to know quite a few insights about you by knowing about your family, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we ask about the family. Now, whenever such questions are asked, one of the standard mistakes I notice is people tend to become a lot of verbose. People give information which is of absolutely no use. For example, my name is Abdullah, my father's name is MS Sulaiman, my mother's name is Banu Sulaiman. I have three brothers. My elder brother's name is Siddiq. Pause here. Why are you telling me your father's name? Why are you telling me your mother's name? How does it matter to anyone whether the father's name is Sulaiman or Osama bin Laden? Ladies and gentlemen, do not give facts. And whatever facts are essential probably are already there in the resume. Give life. Whenever question is asked about your family, talk about that which has made you special. Remember, they are not the heroes. You are the heroes. Therefore, some element of your family that has influenced you or made you better are the elements that you need to highlight. So let's look at this in a different perspective. Imagine the fact that you come from a family where parents are teachers. Can I sell that? Yes. You can make statements like, coming from a family where my parents are teachers, education has always been an important part of my life. Now you need to understand, I started with the parents, but I am now talking about my life because I am the hero. Similarly, though both my parents are lawyers, they gave me the freedom to become an engineer because I was passionate about engineering. By doing so, you are highlighting the fact that your parents support your dreams. Tomorrow you wish to become an IT professional, or you wish to become a mechanical engineer being placed in Gujarat. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in a way saying your parents will support you. Talk about yourself. So what can be sample answers which are good answers? I am going to be taking few examples of my students, and I am going to build them as an answer to this very important question. Tell me something about your family. I come from a family where my parents are both in government service. Being in government service, which is a transferable job, I have done my schooling in 7 different states and 7 different cities as well. Therefore, I have got a lot of exposure. Thus, my parents have always encouraged me not just to be good in academics, but also go for extracurricular activities. I come from a large family. We are 3 more additional brothers. Coming from such a family, sharing and caring has always been a part of us. And yes, fights were always there, no doubt about it. But today, if you were to ask me, I can empathize with people, I can get along with people. All that is because of this large family. I do have a pet as well, 2 dogs actually, and I am crazy about my dogs. And yes, I do believe they are part of my family as well. Let's analyze this answer again. You talked about the fact that your parents are in government. You know what? Then expect one more question. Why not look for a government service? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are in a way controlling the interview. So, I am going to give you 1 mark for that answer. You talked about the fact that being in a government, your parents have led a transferable job. But if that is the case, and you have therefore moved and you have stayed in 7 different cities in 7 different states, I am in love with you because there is an element of diversity that has come inside. You said the fact that you come from a family of 4 brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, sharing and caring is a very much element of you. So tomorrow when you do join a company and therefore you are working in groups, you will learn how to empathize with people, how to get along with people. And ladies and gentlemen, that answer has made me fall in love with you. Learn the art of making the interviewer fall in love with you. Let us look at one more answer to see how we can bring our personal self to make this answer a good answer. I basically come from a family where my parents are not well educated. My family is into farming in a big way. My dad is a farmer. My mom actually assists him in farming as well. I am the first engineer of the family and I am really proud of that. I do have a younger brother of mine. Right now he looks at me as his role model. And one of my objective is therefore to get a good score in engineering, get into a good company and be the role model that I wish to be. Though we are not economically very strong, the education has never been compromised. And yes, coming from such a background where money was always a problem, resulted in me being careful about the money, and that has also made me quite ambitious. Let's analyze this. You just highlighted the fact that you're the first engineer in the family. Is that good? Of course that is good. That means you're self-made. You talk about your parents who are not educated. You talk about the fact that you come from an economically challenged family. That, ladies and gentlemen, is probably a good news for me because you will not go for higher education. It might sound bad, but the fact is a company would like the person to be with the company at least for 2 to 3 years. So ladies and gentlemen, coming from economically challenged background is therefore good news to the company. You talked about the fact that you have a younger brother and you wish to be a role model. Ladies and gentlemen, that talks about discipline from your side, that talks about motivation from your side, that talks about ambition from your side. By doing so, you have highlighted yourself. The question was on your family, but you have turned this around to talk about how good you are. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an art that you need to learn. So whenever we do ask about family, look at what are the things that make you special. For example, joint family. Do you think if you come from a joint family that's a positive? Answer is yes. Sharing and caring comes into picture. Maybe you have come from a challenging family. Ladies and gentlemen, I have had in the past cases where someone has lost his father or the mother, or maybe the parents are separated. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have come across such backgrounds and therefore you come from a challenging background, please share that with the company. After all, these challenges have made us stronger now. But yes, one other point of caution. Sometimes I have noticed the fact that if a student is saying that he has lost his father, he becomes emotional. Now that is not good. If you are becoming emotional, you are not being an adult, you are not being a professional, you are being a kid. So I generally caution my students, if you believe you will become emotional, then hide it. But if you believe you can talk about it, then talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a student in the past, a lady who was a Muslim lady who got married when she was actually in her 10th class. Now that was a time when government had just introduced free education for the Muslims and other economically backward. Her husband, who was a pani puri seller, encouraged her to do engineering. She did her electrical engineering from one of the local colleges called Gayatri Vidya Parishad. And ladies and gentlemen, she finally ended up getting 3 jobs. Challenges make us special. I still remember one more student of mine, a rural background student coming from an MCA background. He had about 3 to 4 years of gap in education. So when I did ask what is the reason for the gap, he gave me a story which I have always held it very close to my heart. He said he comes from a background where parents are uneducated farmers. So after finishing his bachelor's, he went back to the farming, helped his parents make money through farming. But you know what they did with the money? They got the younger brother educated. And now the younger brother, after finishing his engineering, was working in a company and he was paying for the education of the elder brother. Ladies and gentlemen, such stories are strong stories. They talk about family values. They talk about how strong you have been influenced by your surroundings and therefore how better you are. Learn the art of looking at your family. Learn the art of picking up those things which have influenced you and highlight that. Maybe you are into music and maybe the influence of music has come through your parents. Maybe music runs in your blood. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case, highlight it. Talk about the fact that I come from a family where music has always been something that has been exciting and therefore even I am a good musician. When you make statements of this nature, you touch the hearts of the interviewer. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not just personalizing, you are making the other person fall in love. Tell me something about your family is a very important question, not to be lost. Don't give me facts, give me life. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me how the family has made you a better candidate. If you can do that, that answer will be a fantastic answer. Thank you so much.